Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to Intuitive Angling, and appreciate you guys swinging by the channel to check out today's episode. And guys, got a little story time for y'all today. I'm going to tell you about the tournament I fished. I've actually fished 4 or 5 tournaments on the Mississippi River. This was the FLW Tour Championship back in 1997 on the Mississippi River, and I thought I was going to have to literally spend a fortune and hire a helicopter to get my boat unstuck if it happened what I thought was going to happen here. So this is probably one of the top 5 stories that I've got in terms of like crazy stuff I've done in tournaments. So we're going to get into that in today's video here. Also guys, I wanted to share one thing with y'all before we get started. May is about 3 weeks away, guys. In my opinion, May and June are probably the 2 best months of the year to fish a swim jig. And I just like everybody to check out this Megabass Ouzo swim jig here. It's got a freaking nano-coated, super sharp hook. It's got a great keeper on it. Fish head design to make it go straight through the water. It's got a little spinner that you can see there for added attraction. And this is absolutely my favorite swim jig I have ever used. So I'll put the Megabass Ouzo swim jig link in the description of this video and my Tackle Warehouse link if you guys would like to pick up a few. And I would just suggest, they got a bunch of different colors. Just get some type of a shad pattern like this. It's really good for like the shad spawn fishing in May, or some type of a perch pattern. So anyway, Tackle Warehouse link in the description there. So appreciate that. Okay, guys, here's the situation. I actually got a little video clip I want to share with you on this video here. I was at the FLW tournament, the Forest Wood Cup Championship out of, I think it was out of Greenville, Mississippi, I believe. And anyway, the Mississippi River is notorious for having to make long runs to fish these oxbows. In fact, the longest run I ever made in a tournament was 190 miles one way when we launched out of Memphis when I was fishing a lake way down south. And in this particular tournament, I found this backwater. It was about 100 miles away from Greenville. So, I had a 100-mile run to this place. Now, a lot of these oxbows there on Mississippi River, they're like lakes that are off the river, but they're connected by a long, narrow channel to the main river. That's what allows the lakes to get the water. Is they've dug out these ditches that lead out to the main lake, but these ditches are very narrow and very, very shallow, and they're silted over. A lot of them are. So anyway, I launched in practice in this backwater lake and freaking ripped them. So it was like easy to catch them. I mean, you could, no problem, to get bit in there. So the main thing is I had to figure out a way if I could even get there through this little narrow channel, because this channel was really sketchy. And I had never been through it before, but I could just, I could see the entrance of it, and I had no idea what was there. So the only thing that I knew to do was to get out and wade the entire channel, which was like a mile, muddy bottom, in order to figure out if I could get to this place. So what I did, and I'm going to show you here, I'm going to explain to you what happened here, but let me show you this video clip real quick of me actually running through this channel, and then I'll explain what I did to actually get to it. So check this clip out here. This is the clip of me running I was coming 100 miles. I entered this channel to run into the lake I was fishing, and here's a clip of me running through this narrow channel here.
Tommy Biffle. Some, like David Fritz, choose to fish in Lake Ferguson. Others, like Randy Blaukat, go for the big gamble, running up to 100 miles or more up and down the treacherous Mississippi, only to face a full-bore zigzag through as little as 8 inches of water just to reach an oxbow lake.
There's a couple areas up here you can barely take a canoe through, let alone a big Ranger, but we're going to try it. Okay, now here's the real shallow dude here. Okay, here's another 6-inch deep turn.
ride-in was successful.
Okay, guys, let me explain to you how I did this. You may have noticed in that video, you can see some white stakes in the water. I waded the entire length of this creek, and some of the areas in there, guys, it was super narrow, and some of the places were like 6 inches. They were like this deep. But if you moved over maybe a couple feet, they might be 1.5 feet deep. So what I did is I waded that entire creek, that channel there, and I put sticks and I painted them with white spray paint. So I put sticks in all the areas that had a little bit deeper water, and I put some sticks on the places that I knew were shallow and I'd run aground, in order to get to make this run. So it took me forever. It took me like over half the day to actually, trace this thing out. And since I launched in the lake, I had no way to make the run. And I was just going to do it cold in the tournament, the first day of the tournament. So I realized, this is about the helicopter part of it, I realized that, as you can see from that creek there, we're in the middle of nowhere, and you can see how narrow the creek is. You can't even turn your boat around. It's so narrow in some places you couldn't even turn your boat around. And I realized, and I told myself, I said, Randy, if you mess up here, and if you do not keep going and make it all the way to the lake, the only way that you're going to get out of here is renting a helicopter. There's no other way that you're going to get your boat out of there unless you have a helicopter. You can't get another boat in there. It'd be physically impossible. So I have to weigh this out, this potential, if it's worth it or not. So anyway, in 1997, I'm still young, pumped full of testosterone, FLW championship, $500,000 on the line. So I said, I'm going to go for it. So I ran up there from what you've seen. I'd never made the run in that channel before. And I ran in there, and you saw the video of me running in there. That's exactly how I did it the first day of the tournament. And I knew what to look for simply because I'd waded the whole thing. So I knew how deep everything was. But anyway, I got in there. Right off the bat, I caught a good limit on a spinnerbait the first day. Caught another good limit on a spinnerbait the second day. I was in the top 10, made the top 10 finals in the tournament. That's what that thing was there. You could see me running in there. And wound up having a good finish in the tournament. But the main thing about that, guys, is that's one of those things where it could have gone really bad if I hadn't have if I'd made just the wrong turn, like a couple feet to the right or left. But that's not the craziest thing I've done, guys. I would probably, that might make the top 10, the craziest things I've done in tournaments, but I've done a lot of other things that were far more potentially dangerous than that. This wasn't a dangerous situation. It's like the only problem with this is if I got stuck, it was going to cost me freaking $5,000 to get out of this problem probably. So, but I've had other situations that actually had more physical danger involved with it. So anyway, guys, just wanted to share that with you. Hope you enjoyed the clip there. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. We'll talk later.